Well, I can't tell you how proud I am of the effort that our guys put into the game for 40 minutes defensively, because we won a game against a really #1 deserved ranking by Alabama. They've done a great job. Nate's done a great job with his group of guys, and but the fact that, again, for 40 minutes, I thought we played really hard the other night and lost the game. But the one thing I can say, I don't think these guys have ever come disconnected, and coaching staff did a terrific job of exactly how we wanted to play their ball screens on the side, what we need to do in the middle, but just some incredible defensive intensity and effort by a lot of guys. There wasn't one guy that win that game tonight didn't help us win this game. Not one guy. And just really proud of the effort. And I can tell you, and you guys might think I'm crazy, after those tough losses, you know, these guys stayed with it. And like I said, they didn't splinter. They stayed together, and we knew other guys had to step up tonight. And Jemima Ashak was terrific defensively. Jonas, Santi, and you look at Santi and Z's numbers, they're outstanding. But just when plays need to be made, players made plays.
Coach, you kind of touched on it, but your attitude Saturday after the game didn't seem like a coach. You just lost two back, heartbreakers. I mean, did you sort of see the beginnings of this in that second half?
I've been doing this a long time, and I've seen a lot of things. And what they did Saturday, we played against a team that, we guarded. They made some terrific shots and had a chance, obviously, to seal it before that shot, but we didn't. And but you know what? I told him, I said I was extremely proud of the effort, and we'll continue to do that. We'll find a way. And I said, hey, it's about us, and as long as we'll stay together. But it was just an incredible effort, and the way that they fought and the way they did tonight, and really is what we're going to have to do from here on out, because you look at our schedule, it was pretty backloaded heavy, but just really proud of the incredible defensive effort, and offensively we found a way. Weren't great there by any stretch of the imagination, but we had the same idea. We'll play defense, rebound, and we'll find a way to hopefully score enough points.
Rick, how does a team not splinter in a moment like this? And what does that mean looking forward through the rest of the season, that these guys have that to them?
Well, one, I think, is the quality of players that we recruit. I think the fact that there's a foundation here, and I think the effort that goes in every day with our assistant coaches, our GAs, our support people. These guys know how much we care about them, and they know it's tough at times. I can obviously be tough with them, but I do know they love this program, and I know that they've taken great pride in the work they put into it, and I think it just speaks volumes about their character as individuals, and the fact that they really do care about each other, and they're willing to go at it in practice, and then game time comes around. And it's been an up and down ride throughout the year because of injuries and this, that, or whatever, but a lot of basketball left to play, and this is when we need to continue to grow and get better.
What did Jonas give you guys tonight?
Jonas. Again, defensively, we told our guys before the game that every player they put on the floor is a guard. We've been working on it for a month with our guards, with our post guys. We start every shell drill with our post guys guarding guards, because we said, hey, you guys are going to have to learn to not just run back to the lane and work your way out. We need to get you guys involved in transition, because there's cross matches and things going on. But I said we've got to all learn to guard anybody for one possession in transition. And tonight, I thought, for the most part, again, we had a couple early where they were back, and I'm talking a foot. I mean, that's all a team like Alabama needs, to get a look and guys that can shoot the ball. But I think our post guys' defense was outstanding too, pushing out there. And then when both teams looked at the end, you guys saw it, we're all trying to get downhill, trying to drive, trying to create something to get to the free throw line. And but again, just everyone defensively, I thought, stayed locked into what we needed to do on the defensive end.
Coach, back here, Simon Williams with WCEX Fox Ford Huntsville. Brandon Miller only finishes with 11 points from the floor. What was your approach on guarding him, especially as his impact kind of waned as the game went on?
Well, obviously he's just an outstanding player and a wonderful person, and we knew that we couldn't give him a lot of room. I mean, you watch him play, he doesn't need much room. You know, he sees a little bit of daylight. He gets the ball really from his shoulder high up, quick, and he's long. He can create. He doesn't need much space. And but we knew that we were going to spend a lot of time with Jemiah guarding him. But when he went out of the game, we would probably have started the second half with Santi on him. But with Santi having 2 fouls, we didn't think we could do that because we felt like it would really, you know, Nate does such a great job of managing the game for them and trying to get him going. And so Tyreek started there in the second half, and I thought did a good job. He did, again, everybody, because we started switching some and trying to change the ball screen coverage because they're so good at it, and just so because their guards are so good, if you just keep showing them the same thing, they'll start picking it apart. But again, it was a lot of guys that had to go into. I don't think one guy shut them down. It's a team effort in everything that we do. And again, it's not like we shut him down. I mean, he got some looks. He had some looks of shots that he can make, but so he had some looks. And again, we didn't defend him like shut him down because we didn't do that.
Rick, Jemiah, I think has plus minus. He didn't score for you guys tonight. What does that say about the effort he puts in?
Goes back to what we tell our guys. You've got to find a way to impact the game without scoring them, because everybody wants to score. They do, but the more he's out there, the more he's going to figure that side of it out. But the intangibles that he brings, you got to have it on the court. You got to have it. And I mean, he's, as you know, I mean, he's solid. He will be in the lineup, and because of what he does, and he's. I told him the other day after the game Saturday, I said, from this point on, you're not taking a back seat to anybody. I said, you're out there competing, and I expect you to go play like these other guys. You don't have to play perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but you got to continue to bring what you bring every day, because this team needs it. And he was even better today than he was Saturday.
Coach, how do you think Jonas has kind of handled his role the last week, being able to start 2 games? Is that something you kind of seen in practice out of him as well?
Well, no, yesterday, really quick in practice, I put him on the second team because Tobey kept getting offensive rebounds, and he got going. And John, there's so much there. I mean, there is so much talent there. If we can get him to keep getting better like he is right now, I mean, there's a lot of things he can do. He can shoot the ball. He's long. He's that. You know, we're not asking him to be as physical as those other 3 guys, basically, but you know, he can shoot it. Like, really, when he takes those little jumpers, the one he missed, I think they're all going in, because he's got great hands, he's got great touch, and his length is out there. But again, I was proud of his defense, because he normally stays more on a drop catch, but again, I just think his future's so bright, because I'm around him, we're around him, and we just know that he's got a lot in there, and we just got to keep getting him to let it go.
Coach, back here. What about Jemiah Mashack's makeup had you trust him guarding a guy 5 inches taller than him?
Well, honestly, the same with Santi and Z, their matchups, whoever, you know, position and fact that, you know, we talked to him from day one about that's got to be who he is. He's got to be that guy. And, you know, he's worked hard on his shot. I keep telling him, shoot the ball. I don't know why he doesn't want to do that, because he worked hard on it this year. And but he's so competitive, and he really does get himself wound up, especially on the offensive end, where he just wants to put his head down and go. He made a couple of nice plays where he played off 2 feet and has some good kickouts. And they're a good defensive team now. They're not. They make you work for what you get. And but he's a tough, hard-nosed competitor. That's who he is, and he's not afraid. He'll battle anybody. And but I think he's some of that. He would probably tell you, getting here and watching Zakai and Santi do it, and he's one of those guys that gets after it in practice like that every day.
Finish up with Ryan and Ben.
Guys turned Alabama over 19 times, turned it into 26 points. Just what made those ball pressure so effective tonight?
Well, I can go back to what I said. If you don't try to guard them, they're shifty. They got wiggle to them. Then they got post guys that can shoot it. They've got a lot of things. So if you're not really locked in, and if you expose the rim to them, you get your hips turned, open the door, they're downhill. And when they get downhill, you know, they're great with that hook pass off the baseline. They read it well because they're a very obviously heavy ball screen team, and they do a great job of getting to the rim. But it's all being locked in, and they make you guard from really 2 steps outside the 3-point line. If you're not out there, because they're confident, they're going to shoot it. And if you get out there and you're not ready to guard the downhill drive, they're going to get to the rim and score it or spray it.
Rick, I wanted to ask you about turnovers too, but the fact that you all only had 8, and that's been a problem at times this year. What was different tonight for you guys to
I
not turn the basketball over?
think you got to give credit to our guards, and we had some guys that put in a lot of minutes there, and they did a good job. At the end, they were really working hard to keep Zakai from getting the ball. Everybody makes it hard on Santi, and those guys have to work. But proud of that, obviously, because we talk about getting shots up. That's what I told Jemai. I said, man, I'd much rather you shoot a jump shot than turn it over, try to go take a tough contested shot. And I felt like Tyreek tonight, he didn't have a great shoot night, and I kept taking him out and say, hey, you got to shoot it. You got to help Santi. You got to help Z. You got to help those guys. But I thought that the demeanor of those guys on the offensive end was really good.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.